welcome back. It is Gossip Report Card, and this is a segment where we bring you the latest trending stories, like mostly amebo. There are lots of amebo gossip mongers right here with me. I'm talking about Ibrahim and Arun. Yes, they're still here. And, it's all we do on this segment. And like we said earlier, we're joined in by Arun Yanga Elueche. Yeah, nice to have you on the show still.
Nice
Arun.
to be here.
Okay, so now, first of all, we'll talk about veteran actor Clem Ohaneze, and, there's something that has been going on in Nollywood, and this is not the first time I've actually spoken about it. It's been going on for a while. Most Nollywood actors, all these ones we grew up to know, once they get to a certain age, they start falling ill. Either liver problem, kidney, something has to be wrong with them. They start falling sick, and then they have to start soliciting for funds to help with surgery and everything. So Clem Ohaneze, I haven't seen him in a movie in a really, really long time. He went as far as going for a church service, and he was given 8 million naira from a prophet. Okay, and you could actually see pictures. You can actually see him in tears, which means he'd actually solicited for this funds, but wasn't able to come up with it, and probably resulted that it's the end for me and everything. But he was given this amount, and he felt grateful. He felt really grateful, and he begs to ask the question. That a lot of people have been asking: is it that because I believe there's an association? Nollywood, there's a guild. Aside the guild, they also have other associations. They have friends. Don't they help each other? Because you see a particular Nollywood actress buying this amount of house, buying this amount of car and everything. But when it comes to helping each other, nothing seems to be happening.
Well, that is something that, what are those associations for? Why were they actually formed? Were they formed strictly on for professional things, on a professional basis, or were they actually put in place for things like this? Some people might ask the question: these people have been making these movies for 30, 40, 50 years. How come you're broke? A lot of people might ask that. You understand? Where did all his money go?
Wait, is it possible that the way we fans actually see them is different from what it is with them? Because most times they're portrayed as let me say elites, people who are wealthy.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what I mean. It's an I think it's an indictment on the entire industry. I mean, if I can come and be an actor for 30, 40, 50 years, make a bunch of movies, and then at the end of the day, still broke.
Yeah, one thing I know about up-and-coming actors, is the fact that most of them don't even get paid. They do it for the fame, Could it be the same thing? Just the fame? But fame without money,
years of fame.
But exactly.
Fame doesn't quite pay for nothing.
Exactly.
Do they pay them much?
So back in the day, from the little knowledge I have, I'm a thespian, so kind of in the industry. But I know that back in the day, the pay wasn't as good as it is now.
Okay.
Now you have social media. A lot of these people don't just act anymore. They're either brand influencers, social media influencers, brand ambassadors. So there's more money coming in for this generation than there was for this. However, it doesn't mean that they didn't get some good money, because some of them got paid for appearances at events. Some of them just got given money by fans who had a lot of it in appreciation for the work that they did. The question is, what did you do with all that money? A lot of them didn't invest.
Exactly.
A lot of them squandered it. A lot of them were very careless. I'm not going to mention names for respect's sake, but we know some of our veteran actors and actresses who really smoked and drank back in the day and eventually ended up with a lot of these kidney, liver issues.
Yeah, it seems to be the most.
Some of them have died.
Yeah.
Some of them were very careless and lived careless, like drunk driving and all, and died. Some of them ended up with major injuries. So you ask yourself, what did you do with the fame and the money you had at the time? Something happened recently, and another, so it was Baba Faria, I think, who called out Davido.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
For,
Exactly.
Yeah, for
a lot of the while I was reading or watching his video, something came to my mind. And as I was reading the comments, that same thing in my mind was in the comment section. Like somebody just spelled it out. I'm like, this is the comment. I like it. I'll look for another like button on the matter. Because when you were wealthy, who did you help?
Exactly.
How many people did you help? There are certain, veterans who will not need who will not lack a single thing if something were to go wrong now. Because all the people they helped will stand in a very long line and be throwing the money. Do you get?
Exactly.
So what did you do? Who did you help? It's like Kanu. Now, after all he did with his Heart Foundation, it's hard for him to go down and nobody pick him up.
True. Very
Do
true.
you get? So you were once famous. You once had the money. What did you do with it? Who did you help? Do you understand me? So that's the question to be asked. We do get that maybe he drank a lot and that's why he has a liver and kidney issue. That's a different story because left to me, if you waste your life drinking and smoking, by the time you fall sick, I will not even visit
No,
you.
because you actually know the repercussion. When you were doing it when you were young, you should actually think of the consequences.
You
of your
didn't call
actions.
me. Then I should come and contribute where you are falling sick. I'm not a heartless person. I'm just saying, if you have the boldness to be very careless.
And then if you notice, most of the actors we have today, the new generation actors, there's kind of like a disconnect. They probably never had the relationship with these old actors. So it would be difficult for these new actors to actually, help out.
Okay.
Why not? Why won't you help? A lot of them ended up on the set with these actors when they were coming
Most
out.
of them didn't. Most of them did not.
Who did they end up with?
Because there's a generational gap.
She said.
I understand.
I don't think that is a gap. I think that they know each other.
They were there.
No, but is it possible that even when they ended up in the sets with these people, like there was a lot of attitude because these old people were feeling like,
I did hear that this particular person had some kind of it earlier on. Eventually, he must have leveled out because the whole field is open now. Everybody, you can even become an actor from your room. Your bedroom with your camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Nollywood will come looking for
you. Exactly.
And then most of these actors or actresses, they didn't start from a humble beginning, if I may say. They just, got found one way or the other. I don't TikTok. One way or the other. And I don't even know what the rationale is, for getting actors these days. Sometimes as a lady, you just have to be very cute and have the shape and that's it.
Well, it all depends.
You don't have to even start somewhere.
It all depends on what the movie person is actually looking for.
That's the director, or
exactly, or the producer, or anything like that. Exactly, it depends on what he's looking for. I mean, like there's this movie I know about Antoine Fisher. I mean, like the guy who actually acted in the movie was discovered in an elevator. I just saw him and I was like, okay, this is what I need.
Okay.
You understand? There's this limo driver. This I think is an Eritrean or something like that. He was limo driver. You understand?
Okay, that's the guy.
The process to become what they want you to become.
Exactly, the guy that was in Captain Phillips.
That dark, tall guy.
That's what you matter. Just leave it.
No, we're talking about Nollywood.
No, he was talking about another
fisherman and all those fancy names.
This one in Nollywood.
It doesn't work like that.
Your skin is very fair. Maybe I'm rubbing off cream.
Sometimes if you have an amount, if you have an amount of money to give to pay your way into a movie, you can do that.
So why would I want to pay to get into a movie?
It's for fame.
No, but this is it, right? One of the reasons I didn't dive into the industry after I finished from school, no offense, and with respect to all you wonderful actors out there are some of you, was the fact that I felt they were too unprofessional. Coming out of the system where you know what should be done and then you see what is being done. Exactly. You're like, I don't want to be a part of this. And then I went into media instead, which I didn't quite like when I was in school. But then, I found myself there because I had to pay bills initially, right? Then I fell in love with the media and realized it was good for me, it looked good on me. Now, when you talk of the acting, right, there's a lot of, if you're fair and fine, good, you are tall and slim, if you are as big as me, you have to be somebody's mother. I'm not somebody's mother, but I am this big. There are people who are younger than me who are much bigger.
Exactly.
Represent every demographic. Young girls don't all have to be slim, fair tall, this, that. That's one. There's the typing of characters and the typecastings. And in Nigeria, to be honest, it's only just now some people are beginning to pick it up. If you leave me, I would rather, if you had the money, my dear, produce your own small film. Let it be really good.
Short film.
A short film. let it be good, let it get the attention it needs, and you will be discovered. Because most times when you depend on these people, they are just looking for who is fine, who has the most Instagram followers, that can promote the movie for them.
Exactly.
It's a lot of mess, and that's why we are where we are in the industry. Because, to be honest, Nigeria has the gift and has the resources to overtake Hollywood. That's the truth. That's the plain truth. And even with the level, even at the level we are, we're still like number 3 or number 2 now in the world. So, in terms of distribution and sales,
yes,
our population health.
volume.
Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. Well, I think we place more emphasis on volume. You
Than
understand?
quality.
You know, than quality. You know, you have movies being churned out every 2 weeks. The person will produce a movie
brother.
now. The next week
Give me 4 days, you see your
another
film.
movies.
Once something or
You know?
video or something goes viral today, they produce the movie the next
Exactly.
day.
You understand. So you can
No
imagine,
content,
so you
no
can,
depth,
So you can
no
imagine the
nothing.
thought process. I mean, like a story breaks 2 weeks ago, and I have a movie out today about that particular story, you know? So you can imagine there was no thought process to the casting, the story, the depth of the characters, nothing. And we just churn it out, you know? Next week, I'm releasing part 2. You understand? Next week, I'm releasing part 2. So I can have like a 4-part movie in like 1 month.
We can do better.
We
That's
can.
the truth.
We can do better.
And that's the reason why we are where we are. Because when you have a system that works, it's set up to take care of certain issues. If the system worked from the onset, all of the veteran actors and actresses will have a way
Exactly.
to be compensated. They'll have a way to, you know how like government workers have this cooperative type thing, right? So that's what you have kind of. So they can always fall back. Oh, I have an issue. And then you have organizations that are, you know, you have insurance, you have unions that really care. If a system works, the unions take care of these
Members,
people.
exactly.
Because it's become a trend. It's become a trend where they fall sick and now they need money and they need help.
Every
Because
single
it's assumed
time.
if you're part of a union, I mean, like you pay dues, yeah, to that
You
particular
should,
union.
yes. When you're in need, you
so
should
where
get
are your
help.
dues going to? You know, where did they go to? I mean, like who manages these things? Well, these are lots of things. That
And
we
the
actually
recent
do.
Nigerian movies, right? Sorry, let me just say this. The recent Nigerian movies seem to have only a set of people recurrently appearing in these movies. I mean, I remember this Zebudiah, I've forgotten his real name, it keeps escaping me. Zebudiah, right? From the old New Masquerade.
Exactly,
Yeah,
New
Masquerade.
Masquerade, yeah.
I noticed there was a time in recent years where he was being given a lot of work. That's what you should do, right? These people were in the ancient industry, not ancient, not so ancient, but you know, they were in the old time industry, right? And they should be incorporated now. If Clem had a few jobs in the past few years, he would have been able to make up a little
Yes, we
money
haven't seen
that
him
could
in a
support.
really long time, definitely.
You know what?
Maybe it didn't hit.
Kanayo is
Kanayo
only
is
surfacing now
yes.
because musicians
Yes.
and people, Igbo men who really respected him as far, are pushing.
Pete Edochie.
Now they brought him in. I saw a recent
No,
movie.
but he I don't think he had never taken a sabbatical, has he?
He didn't. It's
He
just that the
didn't,
new
because-
industry came and
Came and
kind of
Yeah.
was rolling over the old.
Exactly.
And then he was featured in a few Netflix movies as well, remember? So,
Yeah,
you know,
but
his,
doesn't that-
his
but
career had been
The level at
moving-
which he was placed. There's a way they, how do I put this? You cannot compare, I don't want to go and call movies, you know, but you cannot compare the way certain actors like, and actresses like Joker Silva, who's really good by the way, and Patience Oka have been appearing very, you know, regularly in recent
Oshola
movies.
Sobowale.
Shola Shobowale, and then compare them to these other people, and then it still comes back to professionalism. These people I mentioned are really good.
Yeah, they
They are
are.
theater artists from the scratch,
Yeah. Exactly.
and they are so good. And the recent guys who are trying to catch international attention are looking for the very best. So they don't have a choice. Kind
It
of.
brings us to the issue of federal government planning to regulate Netflix and other streaming, platforms. First it was Twitter. I think you are twins. You should be twins because I don't understand your body language. All right, at first it was Twitter, and now it has to do with Netflix. And according to Lai Mohammed, yes, he's saying, or according to the federal government, he's saying, let's just see, because he is a federal government, he said streaming platforms can be used to undermine the country's democratic process. And the goal of regulation is not to stifle creativity, but to create sanity and to encourage healthy competition for socio-economic gains. That was what he said. Now, if you ask
Sorry,
me
just-
how, what has Netflix got to do with it? what has other streaming services? Because for God's sakes, you just go there and watch movies. Do you get?
I do.
What has all these streaming services got to do with undermining the democratic process?
My brother, do you want to start?
You know, sometimes sometimes it's very difficult for you to understand the thought process behind some of these policies and some of these things that
there is no thought process.
So that is the problem, because
exist.
you find it hard to wrap your head around it. You know, it was beautiful English. Undermining democracy, sustainability, this one. It was fantastic English.
Stifle.
It's not to stifle creativity. You understand? But at the end of the day, what is the end game? You understand?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I mean, this is a safe, guys. This is a safe space, right?
Go ahead.
I do not know why this government is threatened by every single thing. People have a right. First of all, social media, amazing. There's no perfect thing. No government even is perfect. There's no perfect system. The social media is not perfect either. A lot of terrible things go on there. But that's why there are consistent gates. Agree? Do you want this kind of thing? Block if you don't want. Stop if you don't want.
Algorithms.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Look at these things. Yeah.
There's gates everywhere. Now, I think I'm going to say this, and this is my opinion, not the opinion of the station. Let me just put that down. I think the federal government needs to grow up. They need to grow up. They need to mature, because you are majoring in all the minor things. I'm minoring in the major things. There are more pressing issues in this country. There are more things. You're just afraid that the youths have discovered social media, a place where their voices will be heard internationally. And no matter what you do, if you refuse to be accountable, they can use this medium to make you accountable.
For me, the problem is what I just want to
That's
understand.
the problem.
What I want to understand is, okay, fine. If you're banning social media, you're saying social media, Twitter and whatnot. What you can say things and do this and. What does Netflix have to do with it?
Netflix is a streaming platform as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there are not just movies, there are documentaries on Netflix.
Yes.
I think some of the recent documentaries that pulled their legs and pulled them out, some of them came out on Netflix. And then if you watch it, it's so, the only thing or reason I would say that any platform should be regulated by anybody, not the federal government, would be like, it's like you have the Videos and Film Censors Board, right? An independent organization that is not controlled by the government can decide that they want to register. Because I remember Netflix released one movie one time ago, and it was a very controversial movie because it was touching on certain religious issues that were wrong. And they were, this Oyibo mentality of most of them are drifting away from religion as it is. So they were trying to project that. And one religion felt slighted. And it was a major international, it was a world issue. On such things, yes. Whatever you believe, keep it to yourself. But don't bring it onto a platform where I am castigating what I believe in.
Exactly.
That's good. You can say that. But what do you want to regulate again? I don't understand the film I'm watching. If I want to watch horror movies, my movie. If I want to watch bad films, my film. Is it your... The truth is that no matter what they do, there are a million streaming platforms.
Exactly.
You can't regulate all of them.
Exactly.
There's even a Nigeria, let me not say it, maybe their mind will not go there. There's even a back route to Netflix. So if you like, regulate,
don't tell them.
Let me not tell them.
Just keep it a secret.
So the internet is actually vast. It's actually a very vast place, and you can't put your hands in everything. No matter how you feel you're an octopus. You understand? We talked about octopi.
Three hearts.
Exactly. And the tentacles. So no matter how you feel you're an octopus, you can't really go. Maybe just like she said, we should maybe look at these things on a case-by-case basis. You understand? A movie comes out, you feel that it's not. How do I put it now? It's not proper. You understand?
As an adult, you have the right to choose it or not. That's why we're adults. You don't need to baby us.
Then you look at it exactly. You understand? I mean, like, we pay money to watch
exactly. You don't need to baby us.
So I really don't see that.
It was just like a case where they said they were going to sanction CNN. I laughed.
All right, please. So we'll go on a quick break and we'll be back with more gossip. Stay tuned. right, you're still watching Daybreak Extra on Trust TV, and yes, we're still talking about gossip. Yes, we're still gossiping about some things happening around the country, and sharing with you a few trending stories. Now, one trending story that I love to hear is, who doesn't love Rihanna? Who does not love Rihanna? I love Rihanna. I don't know. I just connect with her. If she were a Nigerian, if she was in Nigeria, would have been besties. I know that for sure. But then, hello, I'm not Famzi. Hello. Okay. But then, rumors are going round that she's been through so much when it comes to relationships. Chris Brown battering her. Her being engaged to
Hassan.
Whatever. Another her being engaged to the prince from, is it Dubai or UAE, and then a lot of stuff going on with her. But then recently she started dating ASAP Rocky. And I must say, and permit me to say, they look so good together. For those of you, for those of you who don't know what they look like or what ASAP looks like, we actually have pictures, that you would actually get to see. So they look so good together, and he's really cute, I must say, and she's very pretty as well. And there are rumors that she's pregnant with her first child. So,
well, allow me to say something here.
Yes, sir.
They looked fantastic with Chris Brown as well.
They did? Did they? Chris Brown was shot.
They looked fantastic.
No, not really.
Well. And Chris Brown, well, there's always two sides to any story. But
Chris Brown did abuse her.
Yeah, he did. Actually did.
But he apologized several times. But he had to serve time afterwards.
But do you know, there's this glow.
I understand. I'm not saying that Chris Brown did not do what he said he did.
So what are you saying, my brother?
Well, I'm a self-confessed feminist. I said that.
But you seem to be defending Chris Brown.
I'm not
right
defending
now.
Chris Brown. I'm just being the devil's advocate. I mean, like, somebody has to listen to his own side of the story.
Yeah, what he has
he has no side of the story.
It's our side.
He's hanging in the air, no side.
All right. I rest my Chris Brown case.
side is the side.
I rest my Chris Brown case.
All right,
now,
so as we're saying, yes, they actually look so good together. And I think there seems to be this glow. There's this glow that comes when you find peace, when you're in a peaceful relationship, when you've been in a toxic one and then move into a peaceful
You have Bele, you have glowing.
No, minus the Bele. Before the Bele, did you even,
the thing was, they were friends first. It's always it's an age-long saying that can never be overstated.
Marry your friend.
Marry your friend. Date your friend. Because even when the love is tried and on the hot grill, that friendship holds you guys together. So they met way back, like early 2000s, then down to the performance they had in 2012, and it's been a long time coming. And they didn't date all that time. They were friends. So they already respected each other. They already she kind of already knew who he was outside of romance and love. So it was like, when you meet a person and there's no intentions, you're both real.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know if you're an abusive person. I know if you're disrespectful. I know if you treat people bad. I know if you're a thief. If I can't trust you around money. I know I can't trust you around women and all of that. So I already know this about you. And then somewhere down the line, Cupid just blows one arrow. And then you realize, okay, what was I like about this person? Oh wow, this person actually like this.
He's being my friend. Let's just
he has all these qualities I like in a man.
That's right.
Oh wow. So we've been here. So not right in front of me, And then they managed to keep it very low key for a long time. And then he blows on in 2020.
Well, there's this thing that I want to ask. All right, maybe I need some clarity on this. With this celebrity get-togethers and whatnot, celebrities getting together with celebrities, you'll find celebrities dating for like a zillion years.
Yeah,
and then when they get
marry.
24 hours later, it dies.
What happens? What happens there?
Because
I think they've gotten too comfortable.
Initially the meeting was to date. Like I said, these people met. How do I put it? It's like you have Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, exactly.
They're a classic example of this
forever.
thing. And then, because when you're not, we are talking about white people like this thing we're talking about like this is Oyibo man, right? This equality mentality dwells in their minds, and then you have Angelina Jolie and Brad
Please,
Pitt.
can we do Two-Face and Annie?
They met on. Wait, we are coming to those two. They met on the set, right,
Yeah.
of a movie, and started dating. So it's not like they were friends for a while before the time. So it all started off as a date, and then there's this mentality: if I'm not married to you, you don't own. In fact, you don't even
can
own
do
me
whatever.
either
You're
way.
still single. As far as
whatever I
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
But when you get married, the rules are different. Angelina Jolie could do something, and Brad Pitt say, "Okay, good idea." When you are married, she's not expected to do anything without talking to him first. But she's so used to it, and then there's conflict because you don't define okay, beyond this point. If we cross this point,
boundaries.
this and this, this and this and this have to be in place. These are boundaries. The divorce was that she said she did not like the way it was handling the children. That was part of it. So he was handling the children prior to this marriage.
Exactly.
Why did it all become so
change?
terrible? Annie and Two-Face, well, in their situation, when they initially met, they were dating now. They dated from the beginning.
So
but it's different when you are with somebody just on the normal. Like, when you can fall in front of your friend, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was so close. And I know every bad side. You've cried to me, I've cried to you, no strings attached. And then one day we realize it's different. Because even when that love goes sour, or there's something wrong that tests love, because it doesn't really die. That friendship holds it together.
Sure.
Okay.
So that's the problem. There are a lot of issues. They don't define, in relationship we can do this.
So
In marriage is different.
So if we go by this logic now, that means ASAP and Rihanna have a chance.
They
actually okay.
Aside from mental problem, they have a chance.
Mental.
Yes, they have a chance.
A lot of them have psychological issues.
Exactly.
That he had a horrible, he had issues with his childhood. His dad always been in jail before he died. The mom and him and his sisters hopping from one place to the other. Then the brother died. The brother he looked up to as a mentor. And then he has dated so many celebrities.
Exactly.
Rihanna, however, is on the low key, right? She's on the low. She's like low key a good girl, kind of. She hasn't had all the scandals and all the crazies. And relationship-wise, she's been very careful. A lot of people haven't come out and said, "Oh, I've had this experience," but she was able to do that with Chris Brown. So they likely have a chance. Yes.
All right. Let's go to the final. Okay, no, not the final. Quickly, a lady who was reported to have been compensated with 5 million naira. I wish it was dollars though, but 5 million naira and a car. Simply because the guy who was meant to marry her ex-fiance, called off the wedding. So she went to court, plead her case, and yes, she was compensated with that amount.
So you can actually do that?
Yes, you can.
The Nigerian law has provisions for that.
What are you counting? Wait, what's he counting?
It's under laws of deals and agreements.
No, I'm just I'm running through some numbers in my head. Yeah, I'm just.
Psychological damage, you can sue for, my dear. You see, the truth is that there are certain systems that work in the country. In as much as we've lost so much faith in the judicial system, there's still a lot of them that actually work. And these are some of them. If you can carry the law and put it in front of the judge, say, "Sir, see the law. It's written." They don't have a choice or to honor it. And you know the damage that guy have gone through.
So is it only women that can actually seek redress?
No, even men.
No, men
can actually do that. He's counting. He's still counting.
How many years did she break
I don't know. How many girls have you promised to marry?
I didn't say anything. I'm just counting. I mean, when did counting become something?
It's like he's counting the girls that we sue him. How much you pay?
So if you could get 5 million naira for every broken heart, I mean, like.
All right, let's quickly go to a final story that's a heartbreaking one, something that's actually been trending on social media, and Yanga is even, arranging herself. A particular story came up when someone posted a story of her 12-year-old cousin that was beaten to death, at a school that cost over 1 million naira. She posted that, and, the college is in Lagos. It's Darwin College, and, saying that they came out, the college themselves came out, a lot of people actually took it, on their heads, you get. So the college came out saying that he actually died on a football field. Like, he was playing ball. I don't know if he was hit or something. He fell down.
Sustained an injury.
Sustained an injury, and he was, and then he died.
He died much later.
So that was the official story. That was the official story.
That was what the press release that the school came up with, But then, a lot of people realized a foul play because pictures of him when he was videos and pictures of him when he was, sick, when he was in a hospital, and how he was vomiting and all that, and his mouth being sore, came up, bloodied and sore, came up and everything, and they, realized there was foul play, so they dug deep and they realized that he was actually being bullied, and apparently, before he died, he mentioned 5 names
of the people who actually
who bullied him, and it was basically because he was asked to join a cult or something, and he refused, and they decided to torture him to death.
This is a secondary school we're talking about?
Yes. A secondary school, and he's 12 years old.
Please let me know when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How many minutes do I have?
Because
I need to know how many minutes.
Yes, I will let you know when it's done.
Because this matter, I slept on top of it too. How do you, that thing is not a secondary school. Because eventually people started coming out to talk about how they left the school. A lot of students who left the school because of bullying spoke of it. Then you have celebrities saying they've come in contact with these children outside in clubs. These are supposed to be secondary school children. This wokeness is going to put this country in serious problem. Some things need to be toned back down. Now, the school released the statement. That was an insult, first of all. So, because lying to all of us and we're keeping quiet, you think you as a school too can come and lie to us? As small as you are. And then they turned off their comment sections. People were pissed off. A kid, according to the father's report, this boy had been bullied over and over again, and that they reported these same students to the school last term, saying that they had bullied him and were asking very weird questions about his sister. So they had to withdraw the sister from that school.
Wow.
Yes, they were asking him to describe his sister's, Who does that? And then the parents are pissed at them because you kept the kid in that kind of school.
That was what
they said they were considering moving him, but because one of the sisters was still there. And then where did this beating take place? How were the children not able to run out and say, teachers come, something is wrong. Housemaster come, a child is being beaten. This beating did not go on for a short while. This boy was fed a chemical.
Yes, because he kept complaining about his throat and stomach, saying he was given something to drink and, everything.
Yes, his lip got burnt.
Yes.
They must have gotten some acidic content from their lab.
Bleach or something.
And fed it to this kid. And then they threatened everybody else that if anybody spoke, they were going to kill them. And then this boy had a protruding stomach because of so they came in the room, right? And they started flogging him. He was on top of his bunk. And they were flogging him with belts. And then he fell off the bunk, and then they stepped on him. They started jumping on him, kicking him. So they said he had a blood clot in his liver. That was part of what complicated the issues he had. And then his legs were aching. He was aching all over. And then he was basically melting from the inside.
And the boys that actually did this as secondary school boys.
One of them do you know that they were escorted? One of them was escorted out of the school premises in a convoy by his parents. His parents came to pick him up. And there are rumors that he has left the country. Because my first instinct when this came out was keep those children grounded. Make sure none of them leaves this country because their parents are influential enough to have buried so much. The children have been reported, these same children, over time by several parents. If they were able to do that and the school maybe was getting enough money from the parents to not discipline these kids, expel them or something.
Do you know, if they should take the children to the moon? For all I care. One thing I know that is karma would definitely
no, that's not. That's the problem.
No, exactly. No, I'm just saying. No. Because the thing is, wherever this boy goes to, he won't stop this particular act.
Yeah, so I don't believe in karma. I believe in the freaking law. And what makes you think that the law cannot be manipulated? That's the point. Now that's why I was talking about social media being a great thing. Because if it weren't for social media, I'm sure that there are a million other issues that have happened in the past that weren't taken care of. We're talking of the girl in Abuja here, Premier School, who died of sepsis. Karen Hachop Apaga or something, right? Where's that case now? Because the owner of the school is linked to power, it seems to have been buried, but it's resurfacing because of this Doen issue. David's case, a lot of people were remanded in jail just after this Doen issue came to. So everything will come up. But the boy, if he has left this country, Interpol needs to bring him right back.
Okay, well, we're talking about Karma. You said it's been going on for a really long time, and they just got wind of it. So the Lagos state government has shut down the school.
They have,
yes,
because of social media outcry, especially from celebrities.
Yeah, so which is a good thing.
Yeah, but that's not just enough.
I know. It's
get
not
these
enough.
children, interview enough,
and he needs to get justice as well.
Do you know a mom interviewed her daughter, was recording, the daughter didn't know. So it was the daughter who said that the parents came, or one of the kids came and escorted with a convoy and picked the boy up from school and took him away. The same girl also said that another child, another of the boys, ran out of the school. And the parents didn't bring him back. He ran out of school back to his parents' house. You people, lest I forget, people need to stop raising monsters. When I see children and I try to correct them, I try to talk to them, and someone says, oh, you don't tell the person how to raise their kid. I tell you how to raise your kid. Because honestly, your kid and my kid are going to grow up in the same world.
Exactly.
I don't want my kid growing up around nonsense. If you know that you're going to cage your child, no wahala. But if that child's going to roam free in the same world, my kid's going to roam free, you are going to train that child right. Because this is another person's kid who's being killed by the negligence of these parents, of this other kid.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. So, in the end, we believe justice will be served.
Amen.
Okay. So, I think that's it on Gossip Report Card today. Thank you so much, Orunyanga Eloeche.
Thank you for
gracing us with your presence. It was absolutely fantastic having you on the show. Yes, and hopefully, next time you will, accept our
come for more
request as well. Yes. So.